Welcome all, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's J. Crew for you with that gun talk. Welcome, welcome. Waiting for folks to come in so we could discuss this gun violence situation that's going on in our city here, Philadelphia. Welcome, welcome. Just trying to have some conversation about what's going on here in the city of Philadelphia with this gun violence and what we can do as a collective to kind of curb or help curb this gun violence that's happening amongst our youth in our city. I mean, it's absolutely crazy right now. Just waiting for a few people to pop in as I'm going live, and we will discuss this. J. Crew for you with that gun talk. Welcome. Want to talk about what's going on in our city here, Philadelphia, with this uh, gun violence and how we could help curb this gun violence in our city as responsible gun owners. How can we help uh, prevent and stop some of these senseless gun crimes out here in our city? You know, people getting access to firearms that really shouldn't have access to firearms, things of that nature. And we're just trying to figure out a way where we can find out how we could put a stop to this. For our youth are killing each other. They're dying. And we just got to figure out how we can put a stop to this madness in our city. So I'm just looking for answers. I'm looking for questions, for answers, for help on what people think would be helpful in that situation. This is my first time going live, and I want to make sure that everything is going well. So forgive me if I'm not working this thing correctly. I'm just trying to figure out how to work this. So again, I want to talk about the gun violence that's going on in the city of Philadelphia. You know, I realized like in the first 2 weeks of January 2022, there's been over 90 plus carjackings in the city of Philadelphia. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy that there's been over 90 something carjackings in the first 2 weeks of the year. And it's what's really mind boggling to me is that when you see the age of these people that's doing this, they're youth, they're young, they're teenagers, they're 16 years old, they're 14 years old. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I hear you, Paul. I hear you on that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. And a lot of this, I believe, it really comes down to parenting, how we are parenting our children. You know, when I grew up, the neighbor could tear your butt up if they had to and take you to your parents and nothing would and your parents wouldn't go crazy on that person. But now today it's a whole different thing today. It's a whole different thing going on today. And it's just like, you know, where's the respect? Where's the love? We got to have the respect and love from our children, man. And then, they're growing up in fatherless homes. Sons don't have their fathers, and this is a big reason why they're turning to crime in the streets. Not only that, you also have the situation with not having good jobs, not educated, the schooling, all that thing. And exactly, Paul, the school teachers would beat you. Absolutely. I remember seeing that happen when I was young in school. The teachers actually spanking you in the doggone class. So yeah, that's correct. That's factual. So we've lost a lot, and we got to be able to reach back and grab these youth here in our city of Philadelphia. It's so important that we can reach back and grab the youth. You know, I'm just like confused. I mean, I know that a lot of illegal guns get on the street. They get on the street because of theft. Either someone has left a firearm in a car, in a car, that car is stolen, and then the criminal gets access to your firearm, or they break into your house and steal the firearm that's not been properly stored away and locked up. So there's a lot of things that these guns are getting on the street. Then I start to think that maybe some of these you know these so-called gun stores are supplying illegal weapons to our youth. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but anything's possible. And to see the violence in our city the way it is just ridiculous right now. So we here at that Gun Talk Philadelphia NAGA chapter, we're working on ways and solutions how to do this. Trying to ban guns, that's not going to stop the violence in the city of Philadelphia. Taking firearms out of the hands of legally owned owners who have went the right way about getting their firearms. Putting a cap on us, those who possess legally owned firearms and are trained, to protect ourselves and our families. It's our Second Amendment right, first of all. And so why would you try to take away our rights to protect ourselves? So I'm seeing a lot of that happening too. Why do we get a slap on the hand for what? What are we getting a slap on the hand for? It's not us that's out here doing the shooting and the killing. We're just want to protect our loved ones and our family. That's all, and just be safe and live in this world peacefully. But unfortunately, I've been training a lot of people, and a lot of them have been women coming in because they are just so concerned about their state of being in today. They're so concerned about it. Like, they want to be protected. They want to be safe. And I definitely understand and I get that. And I encourage people, if you are going to get a firearm, please get training. Get training. Because if you get a firearm without training, you will be worse off. Trust me when I'm telling you. So, you know, it's just important to be able to protect yourselves. But again, we have to get back to the root cause of why this is happening to our youth out here. And a lot of it is because they have no leadership, no guidance. No leadership, no guidance. No one's there to pick them up, to tell them that they love them. Show them a better way. Snatch them up, show them a better way. Now, granted, some of them don't want to know a better way. And that's just facts. Some don't want to know a better way. But we have to figure out what we can do to help them, to snatch them out of that. Like I'm thinking about in our chapter, we're thinking about, teaching the youth gun sports, how to go. We can go to competitions and get them involved in competition to let them understand there's a different side of the firearm than killing your own kind. There's a different side of the firearm. And so, the earlier we can establish the respect for the firearm with our youth, I think the better off they're going to be. So if we can establish with our youth and teach them the universal safety rules of treat every gun as though it's loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger and outside the trigger guard. Keep your firearm pointed in the safe direction at all times. Don't point your firearm at anything you're not willing to destroy, including yourself. So and know your target and what's beyond your target. That's very, very important, because I teach in my chapter as well that every round that you fire from your firearm and it misses your intended threat, that has a lawyer's name attached to it. So we have to start teaching our youth about this, about a firearm safety. We can no longer be ashamed or be afraid to teach our youth about firearm safety. That's so important. And I think if we start that at a young age and take away the fascination of what these firearms are for, when they find these firearms, or if they find a firearm at home, they'll know what to do. They'll know, hey, don't touch that, don't do this. They'll get an adult. A child will bring an adult into the situation because they'll understand the universal safety rules. And we have to bake those rules into our children. That's so important. We got to stop being afraid of a firearm. The firearm just is not going to jump off the table and fire. It only fires when you put your finger on the trigger. It only hurts someone when you point it in the wrong direction. So, we have to really, really, really pay attention. We have to really, really invest in our children and teach and train and educate them in firearm safety. Awesome, Paul. Definitely, definitely. I absolutely would love to get you on some of these gun lessons that we're doing, because it's really, really, really important, brother. Just hit me up at J Crew. Hit me up at that gun talk 1969 at gmail.com. That gun talk 1969 at gmail.com. I'll put it in the chat right here. Give me one second. And I've been training, like I said, I've been training a lot of folks, and now they are teaching their children to be safe with firearms. And that's very, very important. They're teaching their children to be safe with firearms. And that's what we have to do. We have to take the mystery out of a firearm and actually teach our children why we have firearms. What do we use them for? Um, Other than killing your own people. It's just so important that we really, really take that time out to snatch up our young men and to guide them, to definitely guide them. Paul, I would love to have you volunteer on that because we are also working on a youth program for sure, because that's important. That's our future, man. Our youth is our future. So that's definitely what we're trying to do. Definitely what we're trying to do. Um, yeah, I'm just like, my heart really hurts because it is our youth that's being snatched away. And what's happening today is that people are starting to arm themselves. People are starting to get training to protect themselves. And you know, unfortunately today, like, these youngsters commit these crimes out here, but they're not realizing that a lot of people now are pretty much armed, are getting armed. And a lot of people are seeking training because they're afraid. And people will defend themselves from a threat. And unfortunately, these youth are running up on people's cars with their pistols out or whatever they have out, and threatening them. And some of them are going to lose their lives behind this. So we got to stop this senseless violence. Um, Trying to take away gun rights is not going to. It's not going to do it. That's not going to end it. Calling for a system to cease. That's not going to do it. That's not going to end it. Trying to take away legal owners' firearms. That's not going to do it. What's going to do it is we as a community have to step up and be there for our community. And I mean, actually be there for our community and show our youth that we care about them. That's what we're going to have to do. Show our youth that we really, really care about them, man. Snatch them up and teach them about gun safety, teach them about their history so they understand, have a sense of pride about themselves, have a sense of hope about themselves. They've lost all hope in themselves. And it's just like, what else is there to do? And I get it. When you grow up in a neighborhood that's violent, and maybe one of your homeboys were killed when you was young or got killed in front of you, what are you going to do? You're going to take up a firearm. You're going to take up a firearm to protect yourself. So I do get it, and I know when people come up in the grind, it's their safety for them, you know, and we just have to find a better way, man, to stop this violence on the streets here in Philadelphia. Um, Mothers, fathers are losing their sons and daughters, and they're killing women. They're killing women as well. They're shooting women. So we're in a time that's just like super crazy right now. It's super crazy. So whatever I can do, whatever that Gun Talk Philadelphia NAGA chapter, the National African American Gun Association, whatever we can do to help curb this crime rate, this gun homicide, we're going to do it. We're going to do what we got to do, because it's important. It's important for that. I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about that, and just wanted to say, man, that I'm just hurt by what's happening in our city with the crime. and with the gun homicide. And it's really not even necessary. But our young men are hurting because they don't have leaders. Again, they don't have leaders. They don't have fathers. They don't have people that believe in them. And they're hurting. They're hurting and they're turning to the firearm. They're turning to the streets of violence to get what they want. But what they really need is our love. They really need our love. The youth need our love to show them that there's a better way. Show them that there's a better way. I mean, what's your thoughts? I mean, does anyone have any thoughts on what I'm saying about our youth? Is it love that they need? They need more love. They need more guidance. They need that. We can't turn our backs on them. We can't turn a deaf ear to them and say that, well, that's a lost generation. We can't do it because we're losing them by the thousands. Not only in Philadelphia, all over. It's not just happening in Philadelphia. It's happening all over. So whatever we could do to help curb this violence, let's do it. Let's do it. Talk to your councilman, whatever we have to do. Let's do it. I'm a part of the Winfield Association. We're on the safety committee on the safety board for the Winfield Association, and we're trying to make a difference in our community. We're trying to save our community and stop the senseless killing in our community. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot going on right now, and I really don't know what the next steps are, but I know that we're going to definitely be working with the youth and helping the youth understand firearms and firearm usage and firearm safety. We got to push that safety. We got to push those universal safety rules in the community so people understand. And if you're going to be if you're going to legally own a firearm and have a concealed carry, please, 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 please get training. It's not like in the movies. You don't pick up a firearm, you fire on one hand. It's not like in the movies. It's totally different. And you will definitely need to get some type of training. Training is going to be the key. Training is going to be important because people think because they buy a firearm, they can go out here. Now I'm good. I got a firearm. I can protect myself. I'm good. And in actuality, you're not good. And that's just the facts. You're not good. Because even in this, if you think about it, when you go to a range and you shoot, you're in a relaxed environment. You're in a real relaxed environment. No one's shooting back at you. Your heart rate is not going. And that's not realistic. When something actually happens, that's not realistic. When something happens, you're in the heat of the battle. Adrenaline and endorphins are moving. And now you've brought in this extra stress induced into your body. And now you can't perform well. But all of that can be corrected with training. And if you're going to own a firearm, be responsible and get training. Please get training. I beg you to get training. Training is key. It is key. Let's see, Paul. Let's see what you got here. Drill music, absolutely. That drill music thing, man, is like, they call it drilling down on one another. These young folks are drilling down on one another, and it's just like absolutely, terrible. I mean, a lot of the drill music has this battle going back and forth. You did this to my friend, so now I'm gonna put this in the music. I'm gonna put this in a song. What I did to your friend, and it just keeps going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And man, what we not understand is that we're extinguishing each other. We're taking away future leaders because of this real music. And it's that's a fact, Paul. That is a fact. I was and right, the mask don't help as well, right? Thank you, Dave. Yeah, the mask doesn't help at all because as a matter of fact, I was going to a gun store out in out there by 611 out there in 611 called the Bunker Gun Shop. Good friend of mine, Frank Bank, that works there. He wanted me to speak up, to teach our youth about even how you go into a gun store. So now you got youth walking into the gun store with full masks on. No. Take that ski mask off. Keep a regular mask on your face because that in itself can pose a threat. You don't go into a gun store with a ski mask on your head. Take that ski mask off. Put a regular mask on your face. And more than likely, they're going to tell you that when you walk in the store. They're going to ask you to take that off. So that's just having that proper gun store etiquette is also important as well. I've been in a couple of gun stores and I've seen our youth come in and they're coming with a full ski mask on, and they're asked to take that ski mask off because one, you really can't be identified with that ski mask on. And you're walking into a place where there's firearms and people that are carrying firearms. Man, I'm telling you, Paul, this carjacking is absolutely off the chain right now. It's off the Richters right now. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you have to have good situational awareness in this day and time. Really good situational awareness. Absolutely. You have to pay attention to your surroundings. You cannot be out here on these streets not paying attention to your surroundings. Especially if you're a licensed firearm carrier. You got to be able to watch everything in your vicinity. Know what's in that bubble walking while you're going around, even going to your car. You have to know that, because there's some youth that we will be able to reach. There's some that we won't be able to reach, unfortunately. But we'll try our best. But you have to be on point. You got to be on point today. You got to be on point today. It's just so important, how you're driving in your vehicle. Where's your firearm located on you when you're driving in your vehicle? And I'm telling you this because I don't want to see innocent, good people lose their lives over something like a vehicle. And it's happening in our city. So people are now starting again to get armed and to become armed. No, they were starting to become armed. And, to protect themselves. Can you blame them? No, you cannot blame them. You can't blame them for wanting to protect themselves and be armed. I mean, at the end of the day, you want to go home safe to your family. This is why I'm driving to get my firearm. I'll honestly give up the car, and I hear you, and I hear you, I hear you because unfortunately, sometimes giving up the car is not even enough. Sometimes you'll still can possibly lose your life even when you give up your car. And that's why when you carry a firearm and you find yourself in a situation, you have to understand that seconds count. Kiana, hey, how you doing? Yes, my sister. Yes. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. Yeah, Kiana, listen, you have to be on your P's and Q's when you're out there. You got to be on your P's and Q's. Your head should be on a swivel when you're out in your vehicle. And especially as you go through certain neighborhoods, your head's got to be on the swivel. Hopefully, you will never have to use your firearm. That's our goal, to never even have to use our firearms. But you better pay attention to the times that we're in. You better pay attention to that. It's so important to pay attention to the times that we're in. And you can't get caught slipping. It's a different day we live in now. It's a new day we live in right now. So we got to really just, focus and pay attention and train. Seconds count. In an altercation, I tell you, seconds count. It could be that second that either you lost your life or you saved your life. So to get a heads up on that second count type of thing that I'm talking about, you got to have good situational awareness. You got to be able to know what's going on around you and not be so captivated in your devices when you're out there that you're not paying attention. Those days are over where you have to pay attention when you're out there. You definitely got to pay attention. Yes, Paul. Yes, I hear you, brother. I hear you. So, Again, my heart is just saddened by the fact that our youth really like, and it's a lot of things that influences that, video games, music. It's a lot of things that influence that. As I said before, no fathers in the home, no real men guiding their sons. It's a lot of things that's fueling this violence right now, and it's still going on. But you know what? I believe that we can accomplish, we can achieve, we can overcome this, we can get over this. And as David said, train, train, and train some more. Training is key. I'm gonna tell anybody right now. I don't care how many guns you have. Training is key. You best invest your money in training. I'd rather have one or two good guns and invest the rest of my money on training than having the best of everything. Um, I would invest in training, and that's what we do here at that Gun Talk in Philadelphia. Um, that's where we train. We train. We love our people. We love our community. But we train, and that's important. That's so important. But again, like my brother was saying, the drill music is another thing that's really driving our youth to hurt each other. Drill music over music, you know. And they've become so desensitized to life, so desensitized because they don't see that there's a better way, and it's just like our future is slipping away from us and right in our very own hands. Exactly, Spears, exactly. Gangsters, that's right. They had structure and rules. Don't touch no women, no children. It had structures and rules. It's not like that today. It is not like that today. And that's why you have to train, Spears. 357. That's why you have to train. It's important to train. Continue to train and train and train and train. You know, because God forbid, I would hate for one of you guys to find yourself in a situation and lose your life behind that. Someone wants to come and take what you worked hard for, you know. And God knows I don't want to hurt anybody, but if I'm put in a situation where I have to defend my life, I have to do what I have to do. Again, seconds count. You can't not overreact or think in your mind, this can't be what I think it is. It is what you think it is. This is happening to you. And you gotta react. That's why you need to train and understand the laws and the rules of engagement and things of that nature. People buy firearms, go out. Oh, I got a gun. I'm good to go, and go out and shoot somebody and find out you find yourself in jail because you didn't understand the rules of deadly force. You didn't understand that you had to be the innocent victim, the innocent person in that party. You couldn't have been the aggressor. You didn't understand that you could only use that deadly force when you had no means of escape. You know, so it's a lot of things you have to learn, and that's why I say training is key. Training is key. No longer are we going to be afraid to own a firearm in our community. That's over with. First of all, it's your right. So that's over with. Now is the time for you to start learning and to get trained. Now is just the time. Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to train again. We're going to press it again. We're going to press it again. Absolutely. Um, you know, I'm so big on training. I'm so big on the love of our people in our community. Shit, I'm big on all people. I mean, listen, I respect all life. If you respect my life, I respect your life. And I just don't, I don't like the what I'm seeing in our city. Our city is no longer safe like it used to be. It's a different time we're living in now. Um, you know, things are right up in your face today. A lot of things are not hidden anymore. Um, and you know, we just want to be law-abiding citizens, um, doing the right thing, but again, really trying to help our community. That's what it's about. Reaching back and grabbing the younger ones and making sure that the younger ones are on point. I had a younger young man. He came to me and he was trying to buy a firearm off the street, and I'm saying to him, you don't have any records. You don't have anything that would hinder you from actually getting a legal firearm and to carry legally to protect yourself. I'll train you, but he thought you had to buy one off the street, and that's what I'm talking about. Where's the leaders that's able to guide these young men? Where's the leaders, man? Dick Gregory said, "What's wrong with the youth? Look in the mirror. You. That's what's wrong with the youth. We ain't stepping up. We're not in our place. That's what's wrong with the youth. We don't take them under our wings. We walk away from them. We give up on them. That's what's wrong with the youth. And they need us. Big facts. Big facts. 57, 357. They need us. Yeah, the police have a serious staffing shortage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Serious staffing shortage. It's the times we living in. Everyone is, listen, this ain't like back in the 70s or 80s or whatever. It's not like that no more. We had more people had more respect for certain things. Not today. And a lot of things, like I said, a lot of things play into that, especially the music. The music has captivated our young folks and has taken them away where they think that extinguishing each other is cool. That's the thing to do. I'm gonna drill down on you. That's not the thing to do. That's your brother. That's your sister. That's not the thing to do. There's a better way. There's definitely a better way. There's a better way than that. I'm willing to teach and learn and show you that there's a better way. There's an absolute better way that we can do things. Better way of looking at life. I understand that you might not have your father there, or he was never there for you, or he might have left. But we have strong men that are willing to embrace our youth, willing to embrace our youth. And we have to do it. That's the only way we're going to win back our communities. We got to embrace the youth. We got to embrace them. We got to teach them. We got to guide them. It's a lack of guidance. You got single parent mothers raising these children by themselves, these young boys becoming men by themselves. They need a male role model in there to help them in some form of fashion. She cannot do it all. At some point, she will need a strong male role model in there to help her out. And that's facts. I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman. I'm a man. I don't know anything about being a woman, but a mother can. I could teach my sons about how to be a man, right? Because I'm a man, but I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman. So you have single parent mothers, and God bless them. I'm not saying that they can't do it, but they've been doing it. And if the truth be told, they'll tell you it's not easy. It's hard. Wonderful, Spears. Spears 357, wonderful. You do that, brother. You do that because that's what it's going to take. That's what we need. That's what it's going to take. Us stepping up and stepping up in our community. That's what it's going to take. You know, if you don't like how your neighborhood is being policed, get on the police department and do something about it. That's what we have to do. You know, if you don't like the way it's being policed, join the police department. You join, make a difference, make a change. So Spears 357, I respect that. I respect that. Absolutely. I respect that. You know, my thing is with firearms in our community, again, safety, 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 safety. We had our group up at the range shooting, and we had our one of our women of our chapter. Her son is 11 years old, and we had him on the range, and we was teaching him how to safely handle the firearm how you shoot, and teaching him like getting him interested in like competition, things of that nature. And I'm gonna tell you what, to see that young man get that kind of guidance from other strong men who were there guiding him through the whole process, that's going to resound in his life big time. That men took the time to teach him about gun safety, how to utilize a firearm, how to grip, stance, breathe, hold, and take the mystery out of it and put respect in it. And that young man is going to be much better off. I really believe that. It seems like we're the only community that's afraid to put a firearm and train our children. That's important. That's important. We got to train our children. We must train our children. They need to know the universal safety rules. It's so important. Treat all guns as though they're loaded. Always keep your firearm pointed in a safe direction. Keep your finger off the trigger, outside the trigger guard, until you're on target and made the decision to shoot. Know your target and what's beyond your target. Every round that misses your intended threat has an attorney's name attached to it. And another rule that NAGA dropped on us, the National African American Gun Association, is never attempt to catch a falling gun. Why? Because you could easily touch that trigger. You may hurt yourself or someone else. So these rules, if we bake these rules into our children, to our families, we'll have a safer family, safer community. If we snatch these young ones up and teach them, we'll have a safer community. We'll have a better community. If we show love to our young men and not turn a deaf ear to them, because what they really need is love. And they want to be respected. You grew up in a household with just your mom, you want to be respected as a man. So a lot of us don't know how to show these youth respect. We got to give them respect too. That's important. We got to give them respect too. We got to understand where they come from and their walks of life. That's important too. But again, whatever I can do, that Philadelphia, the NAGA gun chapter, that gun talk, Philadelphia NAGA gun chapter, whatever we can do, we're going to do. We're going to do to protect and save our youth and our community, because it's just that important. And if you're a young man or a young woman that's out there listening to this live right now, or you see this live, know that I feel you. I understand what you're going through. I know that it seems rough. I know that one of your homies might have got killed in front of you. So now you got to take up arms. I get it. But know that there's a better way. Because you wind up pulling the trigger on someone, more than likely you're going to spend the rest of your life in jail. More than likely. You're going to throw your life away. 15, 16, 17 years old, throwing your life away. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Norwood, what's up, my brother? Norwood, what's up? Wonderfully said, Paul. Wonderfully said. Absolutely. I agree. Black lives matter to me because I'm black. That's just facts. I mean, I know all lives matter, but I'm saying, to me, black lives matter because I'm black. And that's facts. Kiana, I'm glad, sweetie. I'm really glad that you took that training, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and doing some more work with you as well. Because you really shine behind that. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of that you want to protect yourself and your family. So I'm proud of you, sister. Respect and love to you. Respect and love to you. And we got to get together soon too, Keith, so we can take care of some things for you. We got to get together soon. It's time for us to snatch back these youth. You're welcome. You're welcome, sweetie. It's time for us to snatch back these youth, man. It's time. It's time. We cannot turn a deaf ear on that. I'm excited to have you back. Excited to have you back. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we got to snatch up these youth. We got to snatch them up. This fascination with the gun thing and drilling down on people and being cold hearted and having no heart. Hey, listen. Yeah, there he is, Mawata. What's up, baby boy? What's up, Mawata? Yes, sir. It's Harry Mobley Jr. right there, baby. It's my director of training right there of that Philadelphia Naga chapter, the Gun Talk. Um, we're working hard, man. We're working hard. We want the best for our youth. We want the best for our community, and we're gonna continue to push and work hard to get this message out. Again, like I'm saying, taking guns away from people, that ain't gonna end nothing. And taking a firearm from away from someone like yourself who's legally carrying, what good is that going to do when you realize that criminals always have access to firearms? You just won't. So what kind of sense does that make? Doesn't make any sense at all to me. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You know, you have to get training. You have to educate yourself. It's like I said, time has gone. It's past. It's past now. You got to be able to protect yourself when you're out here. And again, you can only do that when you're utilizing good situational awareness. Just using that. Absolutely. Spears 5057. All right, you're a Naga member also. All right, wonderful, brother. Wonderful. Thank you for the follows, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Definitely. I appreciate you chatting and chiming in. And definitely we can keep on to keep this communication going. I want to keep this live thing going and start doing this every week, man, because it's important that we get out here on this platform and we speak to our community. And don't get me wrong, I'm a person who loves firearms. I do, you know, but I also have a good, healthy respect for them, and my mind is clear. My mind is right. I don't want to hurt nobody, but I do want to go home at the end of the day. Yes, the problem is starting at home, Key. Correct, correct. Yes. Yes, Key, that is correct. That is absolutely correct. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely, Spears. Absolutely. This stuff starts at home, man. At home. When I was young, I couldn't even stand on the corner. My dad didn't even allow that. My dad is like, I get up and go to work every day. You ain't standing on no corner. But that's we know when we had real ones. We had real ones then. So, Paul, if you're in Jersey right now, if you live in Jersey right now, Jersey, it's like a shall not issue state. So it's hard to get a permit to carry in New Jersey. Um, you can take you can bring your firearm to shoot, as long as you transport the right way to Philly. Um, you don't need a permit to do that. But yeah, Jersey is a tough state when it comes down to gun laws. Tough state. Key, you're working on your part. Wonderful. Wonderful. I appreciate you, sis. Scott, there he is. My brother, Scott Hall. There he is. What's up, big brother? Good to see you, Scott. I'm out here doing the live, brother. Out here doing the live, trying to win back these youth from killing themselves in us in this community, man. Yeah, so as I was saying, my dad didn't allow me to stand on the corner. My mom and dad had 5 boys. I'm the youngest out of the 5. Man, we couldn't stand on no corner for what? No, my dad didn't allow that. You know. So again, that goes to show you that starts with parenting, and none of us have been to jail. That starts with good, strong parenting. Good, strong parenting, and that's what we need. Good, strong parenting in our communities, and we really need our men as male role models to step up. Because who can really handle and talk to these youths? The males. The males can do it. And it's just that what we have to do. We have to step up and try to pull these youth off this wrong path. If you see a youth that's going on the wrong path and you have some kind of connection with them, man, snatch them up. Tell them you're making a bad decision. You're making a bad decision. All right, Scott, be safe, brother. Thank you for dropping in, bro. Appreciate you. Yeah, so and again, like I was telling you, I love firearms, but I have a healthy respect for them. I don't want to kill anyone, but I don't want to be killed in the process. You understand? So, and our right, our Second Amendment right, is important. And we cannot deny that. Peace, my brother. We cannot deny that. Our Second Amendment right is important. Do even a lot of us know what the Second Amendment is? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, to the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. That's the Second Amendment. The right to keep and bear arms. What are we afraid of? Firearms not going to hurt you. This country was founded on the firearm. What are we afraid of? No. No, you got to train. You got to train. I encourage people now to if you're gonna make that decision to get a firearm, get training. Get training. Training will make the difference in everything. It will make the difference in everything. Like I was watching the Olympics, and I was watching them doing some ice skating. They was on the skates, spinning around, doing all these beautiful moves and one leg. And I said, now let me go out there and try to do that without no training and see how well I do. See if I won't be the laughing stock of the town as I fall and crack my dome on the ice. The reason why they can do that is because they train, and they train some more. The same with you and your firearm. Just because you bought one, don't think you can go out there and place a shot right where you want to place it if you haven't trained. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, I'm going to be coming back on again with some more stuff. We're going to talk some more. I'm going to keep this live going because I feel it's important. I feel it's necessary. And I'm just thankful for those that jumped on and had their comments. Look for me again next week, same time, same place. I'll be back on live again. And we're going to continue to keep talking and busting it up to make sure we get our community straight, get our people straight, and stop this senseless killing. Stop exterminating our own people. Stop. Just stop. Families are hurting out here, man. Mothers are hurting because they're losing their sons left and right. We got to just stop. We got to stop. We really, really, really got to stop. Good to see you, Norway. Good to see you, Norwood. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes. So, it's a J. Crew for you with that Gun Talk Philadelphia Naga chapter. I am the president. And we want to be excellent, guys. We want to be good. We want to be safe. We want to be smart. I don't want to see innocent people going to jail because they did not know how to utilize their firearm correctly. They thought in a certain situation that they could do something and quickly found out that you couldn't. And now you find yourself in a situation. I don't want that to happen to anyone. So that's why I always push training, that training piece. Train. Forget about buying multiple guns. Take it from me. Train. 2 good guns. Train. Invest in your training. Train. I was looking at a situation in the newspaper. I was away when it happened at SHOT Show 2022, and a gentleman had shot someone who was stealing his car out front of his house. And he opened his door. He went and shot the person that was still in the car. The person drove off down the street, and they crashed somewhere down the street into a school or something like that. And the person died. And then the family wanted the guy who shot the person who was robbing the car arrested. And I'm like, how is that possible? Hey, you want the guy arrested? He up to steal somebody's property. But then I found out that this gentleman who shot the person that was stealing his car didn't have a license to carry. So the mistake he made is he stepped outside of his house, outside of his door without a license to carry, and shot someone and thought he could do that and be all right. And now today finds himself in jail. That's why I'm saying we got to get training. We got to seek out training because that's what's important. Things like that don't happen when you understand how the rules go. I know it seems like somebody stole my car. I could just go out the door and shoot them. I don't have a license to carry. I just stepped outside of my house. You can have a firearm in your home without a license to carry, but once you bring that outside, that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole different ball game. So, listen, man, we can go on and on about this, but I'm glad that you all spent this time with me. Love and respect all of you. Let's continue to make our community safe. Let's continue to be excellent and be leaders. Brothers, we need you to stand up and be leaders in our communities. We need you to be leaders in our communities. If your son is with their mom that lives with their mom, go snatch him up more than you used to. Go snatch him up. The beef that you got with her, let that beef put that beef over to the side. It's bigger than that. Your son's life is bigger than that. Just put that beef over to the side. You got to know the laws for your state. Exactly. You got to know the laws for your state. The laws are different in each state. You got to know the laws. You just can't do what you think you can do. You'll find yourself quickly in jail. You can't do that. So this is why we're here, to train, help people understand those things. This is serious business. It's not a game. It's a serious business. My life is serious. Your life is serious. I don't want to see you spend the rest of your life in jail for something you could have avoided. And since I brought up that word avoidance, that's the key to everything right there. Surviving to survive any violent situation. The key to surviving that situation, if you can avoid it in the first place. If you can avoid that situation, you will survive that situation. If you can avoid it. Peace, Spears. You can survive it if you can avoid the situation. So, just because you have a firearm don't mean you go down the driveway that you never went down before when you didn't have one. Now you're asking for trouble. You understand? You're not Superman or Superwoman. Your best bet is try to avoid situations from happening. Don't put yourself into them. Don't walk yourself into them. Avoid, avoid, avoid. Okay? That firearm, when it comes out, is a last resort. When you had no other choice. When the threat of death and jail time was secondary in your mind. You didn't start it, and you couldn't escape from it. In those instances, people can use deadly force. But again, you got to know the laws of your state. You got to know the laws of your state. Very, very important. So I'm looking forward to going live again with you guys. It's my first live. I appreciate everyone. Love you, respect you, and wish nothing but the best for you. All right. Jay Crew with that gun talk. And I'm out.